The NFL trade deadline is in the books, and the Baltimore Ravens did not make any moves at the deadline. But could they hit the free agent market and add somebody that route as we head towards the second half of 2023? We'll break down 10 players the Ravens could potentially sign coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that, though, folks, I want to know, do you believe in the Baltimore Ravens? Do you believe in this team? Flock, get on your feet, stand up, like the video if you believe in this Ravens team. If you don't, for whatever reason, comment and tell me why. Let's get to the big picture with this Ravens team. I'll say this before you ridicule me for even thinking of some of these players. The Ravens don't necessarily have to add anybody, okay? These are a situation where it's a point of, I would call, luxury. This is not purchases you have to spend right now as far as that goes. You are a very good football team from top to bottom here in Baltimore. So any player that they could potentially add on this list is only to add depth, to make this thing, make sure it's all good, and that we're ready to roll for this Baltimore Ravens team to make that push to go as far as they possibly can. So this is not some glaring weaknesses that we're trying to fill. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and let's start off with a guy that we've talked about recently on the channel, Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh, I got to tell you, he's been awesome throughout his career. He is on his way to one day being a first ballot Hall of Famer in the National Football League. And recently, he not only made it known that he's looking to make a return to the National Football League, but showed interest in the Baltimore Ravens, that there's been discussions that he wants to be in Baltimore. Listen to this. Last week, it was the Ravens that spoke to me, so they seem interested and played great today. You never know. We'll see when we get back to the States, huddle up with the wife and family, get settled, and keep training. Where's the right fit? Where's the right opportunity? Where can I go and add value? I just don't want to sit there and watch other guys be successful. Have options. That's the key, and make decisions from there. Ndamukong Suh, his career, 5 Pro Bowls, playing for the Eagles, the Bucs, the Rams, the Dolphins, as well as the Lions, and also won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been fantastic. And although no one is sitting here saying that he's the same player that he was a few years ago, he's still not a bad football player. Small sample size last year in Philly. In the 8 games he played, he had 1 sack. But you go back to the year prior in 2021, 17 games played, was solid there with 6 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. And he likely wouldn't cost you a ton either. Last year in his time with the Philadelphia Eagles, he played for a little bit more than the vet minimum was all that he asked for. So what do you guys think? Should the Ravens sign Ndamukong Suh? Why for yes and for no? Our pinned comment today, weigh in that comment section. Tell us what you think if the Ravens should sign Suh or not. Number 2 on our list, we turn our attention to La'el Collins, former offensive tackle with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. He was released by the Bengals before the season began. The Ravens' O-line was banged up a bit at one point in time. And, you know, with that in mind, I think just having a little extra security of some sorts, Collins could be a good fit. He's too good to remain unemployed. Here's what I'm talking about. Pro Football Focus in 2022 had him as the 13th best offensive tackle in football. And he's still relatively young. 7 years in the league, 89 career games played, 86 starts. And last year wasn't his best year by any means. PFF graded him as a 57.9 overall, had a good pass block grade, 73.5. Pass block grade wasn't very good. But you go back to 2021, he was fantastic. Overall grade of 82, run block grade near 90, pass block grade of 76.2. If you can get something similar to that, that would go a long way as far as that goes. Now we turn our attention to the wide receiver position. Jarvis Landry is who we bring up here. He's the best wide receiver that's available at this point in time. And I know the wide receiver position has gone from 0 to 100 for this Ravens team this year. But now you've had recent injuries with OBJ and Tylan Wallace. OBJ's kind of been in and out this year. And so wide receivers become kind of an unexpected position of need of sorts for this Ravens team that we didn't necessarily anticipate, where they might have to go shopping and bring somebody in, and if not now, they might have to later. Jarvis Landry is the best of the best out there. 5-time Pro Bowler, consistency throughout his career, 7 career seasons with at least 750 receiving yards or more. Most recently, he was with the Saints, played for the Browns, the Dolphins before that. Good possession receiver. Jarvis Landry could be a good fit for this Ravens team potentially. Who's the free agent the Ravens should sign? We've given you a few players. We got more to get to in just a moment, but your chance to chime in that comment section. Tell me what you think of a player that you'd like to see in Baltimore. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. And with Prize Picks, it's very simple, folks. You pick 2 or more players, and on any given category, you get the choice of more or less. And like me, for example, this week I'm going with Dak to have less than 253.5 passing yards, Josh Allen to have less than 270.5 passing yards. If both those hit, I put $20 down. I'm making $60. Play along with me. Get that $100 deposit match when you use the promo code CLNS. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. It's PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Melvin Ingram at the edge rusher position remains a possibility, and I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that he's still out there at this point in time. You can't have too many pass rushers. Ingram has been successful throughout his career with multiple teams and multiple schemes. He's joined teams midseason before and made an impact in these situations, kind of like what he would be walking to potentially with Baltimore here. Dolphins, Chiefs, Steelers, Chargers. He was an impact at all those teams. A 3-time Pro Bowler and the consistency, which is very important. 6 career seasons with at least 6 sacks or more, including last season where he had 6 sacks total and 7 tackles for loss in 2022. And I go back, and even 2019, he was really good there, 7 sacks that season. So watch out, Melvin Ingram could be a possibility. If you're looking for another edge, besides Melvin Ingram, you could go with Carlos Dunlap, who is also available at this point as well. And I got to tell you, the fact that he is still out there is kind of a head-scratcher of some sorts. Like, why is he still available? He's been consistent everywhere he's been throughout the National Football League, whether it was with the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Seahawks. The resume's there, a 2-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion. And every season of his career, he's had 4 sacks at the very least. So Carlos Dunlap, another name to potentially watch. I mean, it was just, 2 years ago when he had 8 sacks with the Seattle Seahawks. So Carlos Dunlap could be a potential option to watch for there. So what guy would you like to roll with if you had to pick an edge? Would you go with Melvin Ingram or would you go with Carlos Dunlap? Weigh in that comment section. Tell me which one you would choose from between those two. M for Melvin Ingram, C for Carlos Dunlap. Desmond King is the next name on our list at the corner position. He was recently released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I got to tell you, as we're looking at free agents and potential upgrades, no offense to Kevon Seymour, but I think you can do better than Seymour. A guy like Desmond King is one example of that. An All-Pro selection in 2018. Desmond King's been a very good football player. And whether it's been on the outside or the nickel, Desmond King can do it all. And was solid last year. I didn't really understand what the situation was where the Steelers didn't like what they saw from King. Because last year he had 2 picks, 89 tackles. The year prior he had 3 interceptions and 93 tackles. Desmond King's a fine football player and would, I think, be an upgrade from what we've seen over Seymour. Folks, we are nearly at 13,000 subscribers here on Ravens Rundown. Less than 100 to go. For more Ravens news, rumors, live shows, watch parties, and more, interactive mailbags, subscribe now for free. Help us get to that next milestone, 13,000 here on Ravens Rundown. You guys, the flock, make it happen. Now, to finish off, a little rapid fire here. The Ravens, the running back position, Keaton Mitchell's hurt right now. Melvin Gordon's around. You know, I'm not the biggest Melvin Gordon fan. Darrel Williams could be a potential option if you don't want to go with Melvin Gordon as another running back. Leonard Fournette off the market now. He's headed to Buffalo. Logan Ryan is also a possibility. Experience at corner and safety. Some versatility he could bring to the table. Taylor Lewan, he's had a very good career. He's gotten into the podcasting world and all that now. There's questions about his health, but a very fine football player over the years. And then Bryce Callahan, another head-scratcher as far as a corner with talent who had a good season last year that just remains available at this point in time. Looking for a corner, Bryce Callahan is a pretty decent option there. So those are our free agent options. We'll see if the Ravens sign any of them. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it. Show some love for your Baltimore Ravens. If you believe in them, hit that like button. We'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.